Hi guys, it's Sunday. I'm currently back at the New York train station. I just came back from Washington DC from a UNA conference. It was the annual conference for the United Nations Association, the internship that I have over the semester. And this weekend they had their annual conference. There were hundreds of attendees from UNA chapters from all around the country. California definitely had the largest delegation by far, and overall it was a really interesting couple of days. On Saturday I had to be at the meeting at 7:30 to help set up and check people in and do what needed doing. There were a lot of interesting meetings on Saturday with a lot of cool high-level speakers from different organizations, from the United Nations itself, from the UNA, from the United Nations Foundation, from the Better World Campaign. One session I went to gave us a lot of information about United Nations funding and how to talk about it, where it's going, where it's coming from, how the US is involved, about all the issues surrounding this. There was a bill that was recently proposed that would essentially cut almost all US funding for foreign affairs issues, which currently comprises less than 1% of the US budget, so that's just ridiculous. We also talked about how organizations like the UNA have been pushing the government in recent years to actually pay what is expected for the United Nations based on the size of the US economy as compared to other nations in the UN. The US is expected to pay about 22% of the total UN budget, which before 2008 they either didn't pay in full, only paid with certain restrictions and requirements, or paid late, but for the last 6 years they have actually paid everything that was asked of them on time, which is great, and we're hoping that that will continue for the future. And the reason that funding for the UN is so important is because the UN does so many things all around the world that are essential and that are saving people's lives, millions of lives every year. They have resources that other organizations, even entire nations, don't have, and they do it much more efficiently. For example, it costs 8 times as much to send out a US soldier into a conflict zone as it takes to send in a UN peacekeeper. So whenever the US doesn't support the peacekeeping missions, which very frequently doesn't, and instead sends its own troops, they're essentially wasting money. So even though the UN isn't perfect, it does a whole lot of good, and the US should pay what it owes them. Now, I uploaded my last one a couple hours late, so you guys have decided a punishment for me, which was to record a conversation between the 3 of us, with me playing every part. So here it is, enjoy, and I will see you next week. Hey. You guys want to do something? Sure. What would you like to do, Julius? I don't know. Hey Kevin, how's your battery? About 80%. Space team. Space team! Set shifts in chapter 1.
Turn brain plunger on.
Refrigerate leftovers.
Spark the flex bolt.
Soak first hollow spectrum.
Set the slanty thingy to 1.
Cell stocks.
Empty the recycling.
Set final plexus to 3.
Jiggle the emergency whittler.
Overclock the gas thingy.
Set the cricket batch to 3.
Set the granular party to 3.
Uncork Penrose ion tissue.
Set the people to 2.
Take evasive maneuvers.
Decrypt the transmission.
Set Geiger power lantern to 3.
Clean eavesdrops.
Test hypothesis. Kick the power cycle.
Infuse tea.
You guys are silly.